I love the books. I love the books. I read them as a kid, loved the movie, all of that stuff. So when I got the audition, I was just like ecstatic.
I'm Anna Rumer with PopCulture, and today I have Daniela Nieves and Cece Stringer for Peacock's new show, Vampire Academy. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Hello. Now, I absolutely love Vampire Academy. Were either of you fans before you started to be involved with this project? Yeah? Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how, but Dani had never heard of it in her life. She's like that with like random stuff. She'll just be like, no, I don't.
No,
they were like,
yeah.
it was during the Twilight era. So like young adult vampires were in everything. I don't get it, but I love the books. I love the books. I read them as a kid, loved the movie, all of that stuff. So when I got the audition, I was just like ecstatic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and both of your characters have like such a special bond. Obviously, that's the big part of the books. It's a big part of the show. And it is clear that you have a bond off screen as well. Can you tell me a little bit about developing that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that right off the bat, also when we, excuse me, right when we booked our roles, I mean, Cece made like a whole group chat for all of us to connect in on Instagram, which was like a really good way to like really start us off and get us to connect and get to know each other. And we would text in that group chat all the time. And that was like the glimpse I had of like, oh, she loves like pop culture and she loves
oh my god
things.
Not my paragraphs and paragraphs being like, guys, like we can put this on we can put this BTS on Instagram and the fans are gonna love it and this and that. I love pop culture, blah 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 blah.
And I was like super into that too. And so like I feel like we actually bonded a lot with that. We would just randomly like just be talking about TikToks or like certain pop culture moments that no one else knew what we were talking about.
Exactly.
We were like, we get it.
We're like quoting TikToks all the time and other people don't understand. I'm like, are you living under a rock? Like,
so we just, I feel like we brought that to our characters and tried to find ways, because in a lot of ways we are so similar to our characters.
Oh yeah,
that it's easy to kind of blend the two and see how we can bond as Cece and Danny as well.
Yeah.
Like acting and portraying the bond between us as characters kind of does a lot for experiencing the bond as actors as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Danny, that you're very similar to your characters. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the essence of who we are is found so much in the characters from the books. And I mean, I didn't even know about the books when I had auditioned for it, but there was something about me and the way that I saw the character on the page that I guess translated. And then once I read the books after I booked the role, which I got through it like so quickly, I was like so obsessed with the story. And I was like, oh, I can see why they would have cast me as Lissa, because there's a lot of things that we react similarly to. I mean, how we respond under stress and how we respond to situations where we feel like things are unfair or things are too like everything's like a facade and we just don't like it. I mean, I'm super similar to Lissa in those ways.
Yeah, definitely. And like you have this like sweet disposition as well. That's a song, isn't it?
Nice.
And you like Daniela's she's really kind and she can be very like soft and gentle and sort of intuitive and stuff, whereas like I'm very much like Rose in the sense that she's like volatile and fiery and feisty and passionate to the point of like kind of sabotaging herself.
And also I feel like the thing with Rose that is like so similar to Cece as well is like I think Rose is this fiery person and so is Cece, and it is really who they are, but underneath that there is this like really big heart and someone who really cares and has like such sentimental value. I mean, like she you know, she'll be like super like fun and like out there and everything, but then she has like the rings on her fingers that like her friend made, or like a painting in her home that like her friend made. And it's like she has these like really small sentimental things that she holds like really close to her and are really like personal to her. And I feel like Rose is like that. Like she takes her relationship with Lissa very intimately, and it's very to herself, and maybe people around her don't understand why she loves Lissa so much, but they get it, and it's very,
nothing else matters.
And it's very intimate for her.
Definitely.
And Cece's like that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this bond that you guys have. It's so perfect. And the show was wonderful. I can't wait for everyone to see it. Thank you so much for your time today. Hey everyone, I'm Anna Rumer with PopCulture. Today I've got with me Kieran Moore, Andre Day Kim, and Andrew Liner for Peacock's new show, Vampire Academy. Welcome, guys.
Hello. How you doing?
Thanks for having us.
Good. So first, can you each tell me a little bit about your favorite part of becoming your characters? Andre, you're on my left.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Favorite part about becoming my characters? I think just like going really deep with Christian and understanding the complexities that he really brings to the table, you know. I love playing layered characters, and I think Christian is a perfect example of that. Someone who can, you know, if you look at him from the surface, could be really jaded and really angry with the world, but I think he's struggling all the time to try to fight against that. And that's been my favorite part.
I think Dimitri's an outcast in his own right. I think there's a discipline to the man that I think strikes as very intriguing to me. I'm relatively disciplined myself. I try to be. But yeah, there was an element of finding oneself that I thought was just a beautiful way to interpret Dimitri. There's a lot of internal, not just thought process, but torment, I guess, and just like it's an internal battle consistently on wants versus what one must do. And I think there's that was finding that along with the physicality was something that was quite a nice unison for me. Trying to step into his physique and also step into his mentality.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think fun part was really finding who Mason is. That's the question. I think finding his body was probably really fun for me. Putting on a little bit of muscle and really staying grounded. And I think that was the big thing to Mason. What I found was the key was grounding him in reality and letting him have fun. So I think that was the most important part in finding him.
Vampires aren't supposed to have fun.
Yeah, we're going to tell you. Well, I mean, there's such a loyal Vampire Academy fandom, and they've been waiting for like a really good interpretation for a long time. Did any of you feel pressure or extra motivation going into this, having such a backing already?
I think motivation's the better
word.
I
think motivation for sure. It was a lot of fuel, you know. You know, when you already have people that are supportive and want to see it on screen, that was a lot of, you know, passion from them. And obviously we brought our own, but I think that if anything, it was just motivation. If anything, it just, yes, you feel the pressure of like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough, or I don't know if I'm enough like Mason or Dimitri or Christian, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, we are actors, and it's our job to be that. So
I think our interpretation respects the fans' desires. I think there's parts of the story that they will love even more than they thought they knew they would, I believe. I think with that though, the responsibility is such a huge thing that it is of course precious, but that's precious for any actor. But it's an honor more than anything. It's a story that's loved by millions of people, and it's like, how lucky are we to try and bring that to life in our own little way.
Yeah, absolutely. Had any of you read the books before taking on this project, or any secret super fans in the midst?
I'd seen the movie. So then when the project came years ago, when I was in the cinemas when I was younger, and when I got the audition, I seen the title and then just like an unlocked memory kind of thing. I was like, I really want to do this. And I Googled and I was like, I've seen this. And then I read the book. I read the first couple of books in preparation. I'm holding out until we get to later on in the story as well. I don't want to get too much information.
Right. Don't want to taint it.
I don't want to, you know, it's a long process.
I think a lot of us, after booking the role and realizing our casting, went to the books and did our own research afterwards and became fans of the show, honestly. So working on a show and then becoming a fan of it, like that doesn't happen very often. We're very lucky to have that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's so much fun. Is there any part in particular that you were looking forward to, like bringing to life for the fans? Maybe the love stories, maybe just kind of like the backgrounds.
Yeah, I think all of it really. I mean, for me, the fights, I was so gassed to do, and with that, also the love story. I think that was an interesting.
in the world as well for me.
Yeah, you see bits of the book in the show, and there's new things. It's a very modern twist on what we have going on.
There's so many parts of the book that I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
I can't. And then there's parts of like the story, the essence of these people. I think these are characters that I loved, and I think that in its own right is like, oh wow, I get just giving someone who has imagined these people on a page the opportunity to see them play out the story. I think that's just I'm so excited just to see how people receive it. I hope people enjoy it, and I hope they're proud of it in their own right. Like this belongs to them as well.
Yeah, I think the world is a great thing that we're gonna get to bring to life. Like personally for me, I love doing the Moroi elemental magic. That was my favorite part about filming, and like a lot of aspects. I mean, what kind of kid doesn't want to play with fire in some kind of So yeah, I think people are gonna really enjoy it and really, really find themselves within it as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. Today, I've got with me Anita Joy Waje, Rhiann Blundell, and Mia McKenna Bruce for Peacock's new show, Vampire Academy. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Amazing. That was amazing. And also, can I just say, you pronounced my surname fantastically.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Of course, you got to get it right. Got to get it right. Well, I'm so excited for this adaptation. Now, tell me a little bit about each of your characters, if you could, like your favorite part of becoming them. Anita Joy, if you want to go first.
Oh, okay. So my favorite part of becoming her was everything, because she is so delicious. She is so fiery and fearless, but manipulative and sexy and bold. So yeah, it was amazing playing her. She was great.
I love it. Rhiann?
Again, like I loved my character. I played Meredith, who's one of the Vampire Guardians. And what's really cool about Meredith is she keeps up with her classmates in terms of being like a fighter, but she's got a fork tongue, which was really fun to like.
What tongue?
A fork tongue.
Fork.
It's a different
she's she'll say what you need to hear even if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
Fork
that.
tongue. I like that.
That's very good.
I've never heard that before.
Is that a thing?
Fork tongue.
That's a thing, right?
I thought you were swearing. That's why I was like, oh, what tongue?
Your turn.
Oh yeah. So, I play Mia, which it still feels really weird to say because my name is also Mia.
Right.
And she, basically when we first meet her, she's on this quest to be royal at any cost. And I loved playing her because she was kind of like two characters in one. Mm-hmm. Because when we first meet her, she believes that's what she wants. And she believes that she's that way inclined, for royalty and cut out to be the queen. And then that's quickly flipped on its head, and she goes on a journey of like self-discovery, and so that was really, really fun to be able to play, and I think something that everyone really goes through. Mm-hmm. So it was really great to have that and be able to do that.
And Mia and Rhiann, your characters have this kind of complicated relationship that is different than the books. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I don't think that their relationship isn't in the books. So it's a very new thing, and they have just this instant chemistry. Mm-hmm. And I think we spoke about it quite a lot. Like they kind of see through each other's exteriors and aren't afraid to make that known.
Each other a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was kind of great to have an addition like that in the show because I mean the books are wonderful, but the world we live in, it's really cool to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're getting a little will they, won't they? I love that.
Yes, will they, won't
they? Yes. Well, and the entire series has such a loyal fan base. Did any of you feel like extra pressure or motivation with people just really clamoring for this adaptation?
I can say no because I didn't actually know Vampire Academy. And so every day that we'd be on set or whatever and people would be like, oh my God, there's another fan, or oh my God, there's another fan account or whatever.
Is that your impression of us?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, oh, okay. But now I kind of feel that, there's this sense of
responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like our series lives up to that, and I think the way in which they've gone about creating it hopefully elevates the books.
Yeah. Everything that people love about the books is definitely there, and then we've just added some spice.
Adding a little spice, absolutely. Well, I can't wait for everyone to see it. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. Today I have J. August Richards and Janetta Kaiser for Peacock's new show, Vampire Academy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, this is such a fun world to become a part of. Can you tell me a little bit about your favorite part about becoming your characters? If you want to go first, Janetta, you're on my left.
Absolutely. So my favorite part about becoming my character is that she spends a lot of time in a library, and I love to read. I love books. I love the smell of books, even if they're old. So that did it for me.
Perfect fit.
My favorite parts about playing my character are the costumes, because my costumes are amazing. They were all built from scratch from Sonia Grande. And then wearing those costumes in places like what you see behind us, where we shot in Spain. You know, we shot in castles and monasteries and churches that are centuries old. And wearing those costumes and being in those places just gave a real sense of the scope of the show and the history. So that's what I loved about working on the show.
That's awesome. I mean, fans of Vampire Academy have been waiting for like a really good adaptation for a long time. Did either of you feel pressure kind of going in to get this right?
I'm on their side because I am a fan. I read the book, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's my answer to that.
No,
I agree.
I personally felt no pressure because I only felt the pressure to represent my character properly in terms of how I interpreted him. And so because my character is such an equality activist, that's who I am in real life. So I just wanted to transfer my feelings about social injustice into this world. And it's so much fun to do in a world of vampires. You got the Royal Moroi, you got the non-Royal Moroi, the Dompiers, and the Strigoi, who are the bad vampires. So it was just a fun world to play in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Janetta, you were a big fan. You read them kind of before you had anything to do with this project, it sounds like.
Absolutely. So I read them before Twilight, before the Vampire Diaries. Those were like the OG vampire books for millennials. Yeah, I read them when I was young.
Oh my gosh, so this is like a dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't realize it at first when I booked this. I was like, Vampire Academy, that sounds so familiar. And then like everything clicked and I was like, oh my gosh, I like must have manifested this or something because this is insane.
We leaned on her for all the information because she's read all the books. So
right. You're the little encyclopedia.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there anything that you're really excited for the fans to see as they kind of wait eagerly to see what you guys have put together?
I'm excited for them to see the Dompier fight scenes because they're so cool. They're the choreography is amazing. And that's when I'm like, I think everyone's just going to love that so much because it's so well done.
And I'm excited for them to see the world of the show. It's so exciting to see, a world that you've only read about come to life. And the places that we shot, the costumes, the props, the world, it's like, I don't think anyone's ever really seen a show like this ever. So that's what I'm excited about.
Also seeing the elemental magic.
Yes.
That's so cool. Seeing vampires do magic.
Yes. Did you ever get to work your magic? Did you? Oh, we can't answer that.
No.
Okay, never mind.
You're trying to give spoilers here.
Right.
Well, and kind of on that note, if you got to take any element of the Vampire Academy world and bring it into your real life, which would you bring in? What powers would you take or something like that?
In a practical way, I think I would use air because then I could just push things out of the way. Like just push traffic. Like Bruce Almighty, just split.
I love that.
But Spirit is so cool because we don't really know what it is. So that's the one I would just like, I would do that one.
I always loved how vampires just pop up on people. Like, how you're watching any vampire genre, vampires just pop up 1 minute, then gone. Next minute, they're just like, boop. I wish I had that power.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. I can't wait for everyone to see the show. Today, I've got showrunners Julie Plec and Marguerite MacIntyre for Peacock's new show, Vampire Academy. Welcome.
Thank you very much. We're very happy to be here.
Oh, I know that fans of Vampire Academy are super excited that you're here because they have been waiting for this adaptation. Now, can you tell me a little bit about how you went into adapting this beloved story in a way that makes it your own, stays faithful to the books, and also kind of avoids the pitfalls that past adaptations have had?
Well, we really wanted to just look at the book series itself and be as respectful to Richelle Mead, the novelist, and to the series as we could, while also contemporizing it, making it something that, taking the themes that she really had dabbled in when she was writing the series back in the 2000s, and updating those themes, which were very prescient, by the way, and even more important today. So it was really about making sure we did right by the female friendship first and foremost. That friendship between Rose and Lissa is paramount. And nothing else matters if you don't pay the right amount of respect to that. And then to layer in everything that Richelle had in the books, but maybe in a different order of importance. You know, there's royal court, palace intrigue, romance, action, horror, all of those elements, being able to have the whole sandbox of a 10-episode season let us live it everywhere all at once, and it was really thrilling.
Yeah, I mean, and you kind of touched on this too. The story feels very correct to be telling right now. How was that bringing in those themes that were in the book and also, you know, the reality of the world today?
It just felt like
this is why.
Then this is the why now, right? Like you could, especially Julie could probably do any adaptation of anything she wants right now in the world, and it does feel like this time and this team came together at the right time to tell the story. And we talk about, you know, the class system that is fraying in this series of books, the challenge of what to do about it. Is there seeds of a revolution? What does it do, especially to this core friendship that the entire thing is about? How the strain on that friendship from what is happening without, and what they do about it, and how they urge each other on. And so it just feels like the best time to tell this story, because we all kind of recognize it, but we get to hear the story not on the news and not in a newspaper, but you get to sort of hear it with all the love and the romance and the action and the castles and all that stuff around it, so that it's like you say, a spoonful of sugar, and it's a way to kind of, you know, get your cake and eat it too.
Absolutely. Well, and can you tell me just a little bit about casting the show? Because I feel like there are so many talented young people who are coming in.
We got so lucky in casting this show, and it was a very similar luck that we had with Vampire Diaries back in the day, which was nobody was saying, well, who's going to be your big name, the big star name, the person on the poster that's going to bring the audience in. We had complete freedom from the beginning to find whoever we wanted from wherever we wanted. And we did. We have in our ensemble, we have actors from Australia, from the UK, from Canada, from the States. Like they're scattered from a lot of different places in the world, and it allowed us to really make sure representation was really prioritized, and we got to then just find the magic in the people auditioning and figure out who was the right fit with whom. And we got to do all of that work ourselves without a lot of pressure from the outside, insisting on something for a business reason. And that is the most fun way to do it, always.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it totally pays off. I'm super excited for everyone to get to see the show. And thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.